Hello everyone, this is Yogesh. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about some new topics of the Java series, right? So basically we will be talking about some input and output operation, like how to take input, how are the scanner classes, and what are final keywords. So these are the stuffs we are going to talk about, some operators and all. So be with us till the last, and I will highly recommend, if you would have not seen the previous videos of this Java series, I will highly recommend you all to go and check those videos first. I think if you watch this series in a chronological order, that is series number 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, I think then it will be very better for you, right? So let's start with the first topic, that is we are going to talk about final keyword, right? So final keyword. Okay, so let's move on to some editor only. There I will be explaining in a much better way. So for example, you have taken a string. For example, I am taking a string, for example company name. Okay, so I am taking company name as code library, right? So this is my company name, for example. So if you want to change this name, right? So if you want to change this, so I can simply write like this: company name. For example, first I am printing this, so I am printing like this, company name, right? And I'm updating this company name is equals to, I'm updating to Yogesh, for example. I'm changing the name of the company, and again I'm printing it company name, right? So if I try to run this, so you will be able to see that first the company name was code library, right? But what I did, suddenly I changed the name of the company only, right? And I changed it to Yogesh, correct? So it was changed. But usually you would have seen that, like Amazon, Flipkart, Microsoft, you would have seen that they doesn't change their company frequently, right? So that the other employees will not change those names, right? It will be changed by some higher department all only, right? Lower department cannot change the name. So for that, you have to define this as a constant, that this name should not be changed, right? So for that, you have to use a constant, that is a keyword that is known as final. So you will be using like, let me remove this thing. Okay, so I've written final, the data type is string, and the name and the variable name. So when you are trying, so to keep this as a constant, this value, if you want this value to be constant, at that time you have to use a final keyword, and the name convention is not in the camel case, it will be in upper caps, like this: company name. It will be like this. Now if I try to print this, so I will be writing company name, and if I'm trying to print this, so you will get the output as code library, right? But now, for example, someone tried to change this, so what I will do, I will write company name is equals to Yogesh, right? So you can see that an error is coming. What does it mean? You cannot change it because it was assigned as final, that is constant, right? So you will not able to change. So this is the use of this final keyword. I think this is clear with you all. So next, move on to some operator types, right? Let's move on to operator. I think you all know about, like, plus, minus, multiplication, divide, modulus. This thing I think you all know, that we're not going in depth with those things, but we'll be discussing about increment and decrement operators. So for example, I have a variable like a as 10, for example, and I'm trying to print a plus plus. Okay, and again I am trying to print only a, right? So what does a plus plus means? So basically we know that if we want to increment anything, we can do like this: a equal to a plus 1, and one more option is there, you can write like this: a plus plus. So this plus plus is an increment operator. Similarly, if you want to decrement anything, you can write like this: a equal to a minus 1, but you can do like this as well: a minus minus. So this is your decrement operator, right? So there are two types of operator. One is before, that is prefix, and what is postfix. So what does this two means, and what are the differences? So if I am writing a plus plus, it means that we are using it first, then increment it. And in the above case, first increment, then use. So similar pattern is for the minus minus as well. So this will be similar to minus minus a, and this one will be similar to a minus minus. Like in the below case, first we are going to use the value of a and then we are incrementing, but in the above case first we are incrementing then we are using. So let's see in this here only. So what I've written a plus plus, so it means that the value of a was 10, right? So here 10 will be printed because we are using it first, then we are incrementing, so we incremented to 11. So in the below case 11 will be printed. So let's try to run this. So our output will be 10 and 11. So in the output you can see that our output is 10 and then 11. So for example, I do like this. First I'm incrementing a plus a. What does it mean? First I'm incrementing, then I am using, right? So earlier it was 10, so plus a means 11. First incremented, then I am using, and below will be also 11. So let's run this. So in the output you can see that both the outputs are 11. So similarly is for the minus as well. If I do minus, so first here it will be printed 10 and here it will be printed 9, right? So I think you would have understood the things. And if I do first minus, so in the both cases 9 will be printed because it is decrementing first and then we are using. So in the output you can see that both 9 is printed, right? So I think this increment and decrement operators clear with you all. Let's move on to the how to take input. Like if you want to take input from the users, then how you will take. So for that we will be using the scanner classes. So how to declare that? So for that you have to take like this, SCANR scanner. This is the object equals to new scanner system.in. So you would be wondering like what is this scanner, what is this SC? So basically this is the name of the class, and using this class you will be taking the inputs, right? So if you want, and this is known as object, like the variable which you're defining as SC, this is your object. So what is class, what is object, we are going to discuss in a very good way in the next videos, right? When we will be discussing about OOPS concept, in that case we will be discussing about what is class, what is object in a very good way, right? So don't think like what is this and all, simply think like you are going to use this scanner class to take the inputs, right? Now let's see how we are going to take. So for example, you want to take input, for example, enter your roll number, okay? Enter your roll number, fine. So how you can take? You can just take int roll number is equals to SC dot. Okay, so SC is your object, and and there are lots of function. If you want to take integer as an input, you can directly use dot next int. So I'm writing it like this. So like this, your user will able to take input in this roll number, an integer value, right? So we have taken the input. Let's try to print this. So let's print roll number. Let's run the code and let's take the input. So we have to run the code. Let's run the code again. I'm running the code and it's asking for roll number. Let's give roll number 25, right? So in the output we can see that our output is 25, correct? Now this was for an integer, but if I wanted to take as string, so enter your name, for example, right? Enter your name. In that case I will use string, right? Because name can be stored in string. I'm taking name equals to SC dot. Now we have two options. One is next, one is next line. So if I use next, right? If I use next, so this will take only first word, okay? Each and every word is a token, right? So only first word will be taken by this sc.next. So let me show you the example. If I'm printing this name, right? And let me show the example. So if I am writing the name as Yogendra, when I'm trying to print this, you can see only Yogesh is printed, right? Because we did sc.next. So only first word will be taken input in this name variable, right? But if you want the full sentence, right? If I write here like this, Yogesh is a smart boy, right? So only Yogesh is printed. But if you want full sentence, so in that case we have to use next line. Okay? So in this case the whole sentence will be taken as input in this variable name. So when I try to take input, Yogesh is a good boy, right? So the whole sentence is printed as an output, right? So in this name variable we got this whole thing, then Yogesh is a good boy, right? So I think this how to take an input integer. Like similarly, you can see a lot of functions are there. So if I write dot next line, next double, some everything is there. So if I take for example float, right, float xyz is equals to sc dot next float is there. So every option is there for integer, float, double, everything option is there, right? So I think this is clear with you all, right? How to take an input, how to declare a final keyword, what is increment, decrement operator. I think this thing is clear with you all. So yeah, that's it for this video. I think you would have understood a lot of things. So if you are really enjoying this series, then please do like this video, and if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe this channel, right? And do share with your friends if they also want to learn the Java series, right? So that's it. Let's meet in some another video. Tab tak ke liye, bye bye.